Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to have a really awesome group coaching meeting today. Today we are going over Google Webmaster Guidelines, and it's so important that you really understand the information that Google is providing to you to help you rank for your site. Okay, and I'm especially excited about today's meeting because we actually opened this up to all of our customers because we just felt that this was such an important webinar that we really wanted to open it up for our customer base and share this information. So I want to ask you that if you have questions along the way, please make sure that you put them into the questions box. There is not any question that you should not be asking, and I don't want you to be afraid of asking questions, because asking questions helps everybody here, and we do have a lot of people on this webinar today. So let's go ahead and get started. First couple minutes here, I have to go over some group coaching business, and then we're going to jump into the webinar. So if you're not in the group coaching program, some of this information might be helpful to you. So let's go ahead and talk about the upcoming meetings. After our meeting today, our next meeting is Tuesday, February 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That is our one night a week for meeting with people who are unable to meet during the day, and we're going to be going over questions and answers, and also looking at different pages in your site and finding out why they're ranking or why they're not ranking. So it's a really great time to ask questions. Don't forget, though, we don't have our regular meeting this Wednesday, the February 27th, because I'll be at the hospital, but we will pick right back up on March 6th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I also want to let you know that Atten Software, I have talked to him, and he is going to be meeting with us in March to help us to get more information about Google Shopping and data feeds and all kinds of great information, and I'll be updating you as soon as I know more information about that. Let's go over your assignments real quickly. First of all, for your Facebook pages, make sure to find 5 new Facebook pages every single day. These are people who are in your industry but maybe not necessarily direct competitors. Make sure that you're commenting, make sure that you're sharing, and of course on your own wall, post something every single day. It could be a joke, it could be an image, it could be an open-ended question. The whole entire point of doing this is to get your fans engaged, because the more engaged they are with you, the more they're going to see your message, and we want them to see your message. That is so very important. Now, once you've got that down and you're feeling pretty good and you're moving quickly getting that done, then I want you to move on to Twitter. And I want you to find 5 new Twitter friends a day. Last week we talked about ways of finding new friends and ways of finding potential customers, so make sure that you're using that. Make sure you're posting at least once a day on your Twitter. Share twice a day great information that your customers will find valuable, and then also retweet other people at least twice a day. And then once you've got that down, we're adding on Pinterest, of course, because remember, Dwayne from Bing told us that social signals are going to be so important in the future for you getting rankings. So you've got to get into the habit of getting social signals out there. So Pinterest, create a board for different categories. Pin 3 items per day, but make sure they're not all coming from your site. You remember the 80-20 rule in everything you do. 80% should be educational, fun, sharing other things. 20% should actually be pushing your sale. Now make sure that you share your new pin board out there on Facebook and Twitter, and then also make sure that you're finding 3 new people to follow each day. And then finally, now again, you're building up on this every week, and sometimes you're doing this, the Facebook thing, for a month until you really get it down, and then you're going to add on, Twitter. And when you get that down, then you add the Pinterest, because I know it takes time to get started, but as long as you start it, you're going to be doing so good. I think they say it takes 21 days to start a new habit, so take 21 days to start each step. And the final step is blogging, because this will help you to really take it social. I want you to do at least 2 blogs per week. I would love if you're doing more, but if you can't, you're too busy, make sure that you're doing 2 blogs a week and focus on your keywords that customers are looking for. Keep focusing on that 80-20 rule, and a good way to close out some of the blogs is you have a great educational blog, a great content, and then you add that at the very end, you say, P.S., We're having a great sale on some of these products. That helps you to kind of push the sale without being too much of a, I like to say, a car salesman. We don't want to do that. And then last week, we really discussed tools to help you make this whole entire process so much faster. We saw how Hootsuite is such a huge time saver. And then, of course, using Twitter feed to post automatically to different social signals. So make sure that you are using those tools to your advantage. All right, now we're going to jump into Google Webmaster Guidelines. I am going to kind of go through some of this stuff very quickly. If I see a lot of questions pop up about certain things, then I'll try to slow it down and cover different aspects. I will tell you that this entire, everything that's on my slides is what you would find over at Google. And if you do a search for Google Webmaster Guidelines, you will be able to find this link. For all of our people in the group coaching, lock program, and consulting program, this, as well as the video replay, will be in the back end of the group coaching website. We have several new members of our group coaching, so at the very end of this meeting, I am going to show you the group coaching website and where you can find not only all kinds of free tools that are going to save you tons of money, but also tons of graphic programs, tons of video education, and all kinds of other free goodies that are available to you. Okay, so the main thing that Google says that, you know, when we look at Google Webmaster Guidelines is that, and this is extremely important that you understand this, following these guidelines will help Google find, index, and rank your site. And even if you choose not to implement any of these, we strongly encourage you to pay very close attention to the quality guidelines. Notice that they're saying very close attention. So we'll spend a little bit more time on the quality guidelines more than anything else, okay? The big thing is that if your site has been affected by a spam action, it's no longer going to show up in the search results of Google or any of Google's partners' websites. Now, think about that. That's a huge loss of business. You know, it's not something that you want to mess around with. Yes, you wind up seeing some of your competitors are doing these things that are very shady, but some of those competitors are not going to be here in a year or two, and you will be. That's the important thing to remember. Do you want to be in this long term, or do you want to just have short-term results? And if you're in this for the long haul, then you've got to do things correctly. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the things. First of all, under the design and content guidelines, you want to make sure that you have a site with a clear hierarchy and with text links. Every page should be reachable from at least one static text link. So basically what that means is, you know, like if you've got your home pages, you've got your section pages, and under that section page you might have subcategories, and under those subcategories you might have your products. You just want to make sure that it's very clear how your site is set up. And if it seems confusing to you, imagine how it feels for your customers. Now, it talks about you want to make sure that you have these text links and every page is reachable from at least one static text link. That's because when the spider comes into your site, it's going and it's reaching into those links and it's going into the next page. So if you've got a site, if you've got a page out there that's not linked to any single page, it's not on a section page, it's not on your home page, how do you expect Google to find it? You've got to use those links. And the text links are very important. I got to show you something so funny that I found. I did a search for, you're not going, this is going to cause some of you to go, oh my gosh, such bad memories. But do you remember the legacy Yahoo stores? They were scary, right? I mean, look at the left navigation. Did you know these are all images? I can, you know, I mean, it didn't have text links at all. It was images, and thank goodness Yahoo made some changes to this. But what's really sad is, like, if you went to an actual item page, even the name itself that is out there, this is an image. Look at that. It's an image. It wasn't text. It wasn't search engine friendly at all. Not at all. And then the other sad part is, look at the order button was way down here where it was very difficult to see. It might even be difficult to see, wow, can you even order from this page? So this is the old way of the Yahoo store. Then I went and found just a regular new Yahoo store, hasn't had anything done with it, and you've got the beautiful text links. When you click on the links and you go to products, the add to cart button is up at the top where people can see it. You've even got breadcrumbs on the site to help your customers not only find what they're trying to look for, but also to help with learning the hierarchy of the website. So things have definitely improved for the basic Yahoo store. I'm very, very thankful for that because it was kind of scary there for a while. So one of the other things that you want to think about is offering a sitemap to your users with links that point to the important parts of your website. And so if you've got a sitemap page that's got tons and tons of links, then you might want to break it up. And I kind of wanted to show you something with this as well. This is kind of the old way of doing the site links. You know, we come in here and it's just got everything just kind of listed out. Whereas maybe another way that you might want to kind of look at a site map for your customers is where you have the big category, the subcategory, and then all the products listed under that. That makes it easy for your customers to find and see this information. Now, I want you to remember, this is completely different. This is a completely different way, a sitemap, than what you're going to find in the back end of your Yahoo store under search engines. This sitemap here, and let's go ahead and open it up. This sitemap, as you can see, is not for your customers. So if you're trying to link to this page for your sitemap on your store, not a good idea. Not a good idea at all, because this is not for your customers. Now, this sitemap was meant for you to send to Google. This sitemap is meant, you know, for you to put it into your Google Webmaster Tools. It was not meant for your customers. Now, a great question that we had is there a way you can customize the sitemap? Absolutely, you can. You can do something that's automated, where it's automatically set up to do the main category, the subcategory, and then the products. That's all automated. Or the other way that you can do that is just use plain HTML to build your own sitemap. So there's multiple ways that you'll be able to do that. All right, now let's go back over in here. All right, and more of the content guidelines. Keep the links on a given page to a reasonable number. Now, for those of you in the program, you know that you're receiving a report every single month that's letting you know what pages have issues. So let me go in, and I know Tom lets me pick on him and lets me kind of show things here. So if you look at your report, let me bring this into this monitor. This report here, the issue too many on-page links, this is going to tell you what pages have problems. So generally what you want to do is you want to try to stay with about 100 links per page. Now remember, these links include your left navigation, your top navigation, and the footer navigation as well. Now, as I look through this report for Tom, and I look at this for his website, I'm seeing number of links 102, 110, 126. These ones I probably wouldn't be too concerned about. This one that says 176, that one I would definitely work on. So then you want to look at it and you want to say, okay, how can I break this up a little bit more? You know, how can I break up this page and make it easier? Okay. Now, one of the things that a great question that came up is, my blog is coming up with too many links on a page, and that's okay. Don't worry about that blog coming up with too many links on a page, because what's happening is that Google is, especially if you're using Blogger, it's documenting and doing the archives as well as previous posts, and you know, sometimes those are going to start to build up. What I'm really more concerned about is especially these section pages, because don't forget that this is a page that your customer is using to find products on your website. And if you have way too many links, let's take a look at the page. What, you know, what's happening? You know, you've got 176 links. I may have gotten to the wrong one and that may have been changed. But let's just kind of go on to any page and realize what's happening. You know, if you've got too many links on one page, not only is it taking the page longer to download, but it's more difficult for your customers to really kind of find what they're looking for. Have you ever tried to go out for dinner with with family and, you know, you're like, okay, well, what if we go to Arby's? No, what about if we go to Culver's? No, wait, what if we go to Del Taco? No, well, what if we go to In-N-Out? No, what if we go to Bob Evans? And now you have so many choices, it's so difficult to make a actual, like, decision. It's so difficult, right? Well, when you just say, hey, would you rather have In-N-Out or Del Taco? It makes the decision easy. So just imagine if you had 100 pages. By the way, Tom said that, yes, that was one page that had too many links and he already changed it because he's a good student. I agree with that, Tom, and that's why your site and your sales are doing so good because you have been a very good student. And Dwayne says In-N-Out, yum. I know, we're here in Michigan and we don't have In-N-Out burgers, but let me tell you, I miss them daily. They're just so good. They're so good. All right, so now the next thing, create a useful information-rich site. Make sure that you understand that. Information-rich site. And write pages that are clearly and accurately describing your content. That is so very important. I have said from the beginning of time that I've started with Yahoo Stores almost 14 years ago, content, 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 content. And I know there's some of you in here that have been following me for years and years and years, and I have said always from the very beginning, content is so important. You've got to show that you are an expert at what you do. You have to show that you know your products better than anybody else out there. You know your industry. You are an expert. And if you're not an expert in your industry, then it's time to become one. You know, you can become an expert by reading all the books that you possibly can, getting all the magazines that you possibly can about something, going out and reading and learning and maybe even going to school. And then you're sharing that information with your customers, okay? And now Barbara had a great question that says, are you saying we should eliminate a page that maybe says view all products? In that particular instance, I would play it by ear. Number one, I have a customer I talked with yesterday who has 30,000 products. No, I would not tell him to view all products. If you have maybe 200 to 300 products and you just wanted to have one page that says view all of our products, then that I might say, you know, there might become a use for that. And that might be something to look at. But the way you might want to do it is by using that sitemap that's nicely laid out, because that's going to be very friendly for your customers and for the search engines as well. Now remember, as you're building these pages, you've got to think about the words that users would type to find your pages. And you've got to make sure that those actual words are within your site. It amazes me, you know, how much people just don't really look at that statement and pay attention to it. So I'm going to say it again. What words are your users using? And how are they trying to find your pages? And are your sites using those words? Let's get into that, okay? Because let's say that somebody is looking for a baptism gift. Now, if somebody was looking for a Catholic gift, would this page come up? Maybe because you've got the Catholic gift shop. That might happen, okay? But let's kind of look at some of this other stuff. Maybe somebody's looking for a military medal. Let's just say they're looking for a military medal. And that's how they look and find this particular product. Let's just say this right here. That's how they're looking for it. But yet nowhere on your site do you say military medal. You've got to know what's keywords, what search phrases are your customers using. You know, you've got to look at this information. One of the easiest ways, because so many people come to me and they say, Shauna, I don't understand Google keywords and I don't understand how to find keywords and I'm so lost when it comes to keyword research. That's no problem. Everybody was in your shoes. So let me show you something that is very easy to do. Let's say that you're wanting people who are looking for St. Christopher gifts. So what other keywords might they be looking for? Well, we've got St. Christopher, and if we put it in, we see suggestions. People are looking for St. Christopher necklace, St. Christopher the patron saint, St. Christopher school, St. Christopher pendant. If this is so very important that people are looking for St. Christopher pendant and we go to the St. Christopher page, do you have a page that has St. Christopher pendants? And you know what? I'm not seeing that on here. But yet that came up very highly in the related searches, which means that people are using that keyword phrase. So is that a possible new section that this store needs to create? And how easy was that to learn more about keyword research? So very easy, and it doesn't take having, no rocket science. It doesn't take having a huge degree. It's so easy to do. Just use those related searches. Yahoo has another related searches that I like to use as well, so definitely check out that. Use both of them and find out what keywords your customers are looking for. Now, another thing is, try to use text instead of images to display important names, content, or links. Remember that legacy store we looked at? So was not using that, Google can't, as of right now today, recognize text contained in images, but they are trying. They are trying, but we're not there yet. So if you have to use images for content, make sure that you're absolutely using your alt attribute. An alt tag is very easy to put into place, and for the majority of people who've had custom programming, you have what you. Everybody else hear me? Are we back? Okay, thank you. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so her keyword phrase is newborn gifts. So what she did is put baby chef outfit newborn gift. Yes, that's good. Now just don't go overboard with this. Don't go overboard and crazy with it, because you also don't want to go after too many keywords on one page. Focus on 100% relevancy. That's going to be so very important. Okay, so now we're looking at, make sure you're using your title tags. Make sure that you're using your alt tags. It needs to be descriptive and accurate. It needs to be relevant. Don't put an alt tag that says newborn gift when it really should say baby chef outfit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's accurate. That's going to accurately describe it. Whereas if you name the alt tag for that image newborn gift, it's kind of, but it's not really. And really the only reason why you're putting that instead of baby chef outfit is to trick the search engines, and that's one thing that we know you don't want to do. Now again, going back to your reports, for those of you that are in either the lot consulting or in the group coaching program, make sure that you go to your reports and that you're looking at, are your title tags too long? Generally you want to keep them at about 70 characters. The other thing we want to know is, are your title tags too short? So use those reports to look at your title tags. Make sure that your title tags are accurate and descriptive. Now check for broken links and correct HTML. One of the ways that you can find broken links within your website is to look at that 404 error page report that you get. Also, Google Webmaster Tools also is very helpful with that. Now, The next one talks about using dynamic pages. So really, if you're not sure what this is where you see those pages have like maybe a question mark in the URL of the page. Not all the spiders crawl these dynamic pages, so you really want to have static pages. Luckily, I would say probably 99% of the people here are working with Yahoo stores, and you're covered. Don't worry about that. You're all set, and you don't have to worry about that. You're already set up for those static pages. Now, when we go into the technical guidelines, some of this is kind of confusing. So I'm going to go through this very quickly because, well, a lot of this is kind of avoided with the new Yahoo stores, and that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, and some of this is kind of a little deep. So one of the things that it says is use a text browser. Basically what they're saying is look at the site as how the search engines would see it. Okay, do you have too much JavaScript? Are you doing too much with cookies or Flash or dynamic HTML that's constantly changing? You know, are we not seeing the actual text of your website? Can the search engine see the actual text, the content, or are they having trouble crawling your site? So just be very careful to kind of stay away from those things. The other thing that you want to pay attention to is some of those things will actually slow your page down, and we'll get to that too. Now, you want to make sure that the search bots can go through all of your site, that there isn't things that are telling them, you know, don't come here, or, you know, eliminate URLs that look different but point to the same page. You know, there's a lot of times where people will try to come up with all these different URLs that all go to the same exact page, and it's just way too confusing. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that your web server supports, you know, HTTP header. It tells the server, you know, whether your content has changed since we last crawled your site. So again, you know, you've got this covered, so don't worry about it. Using a Robotstxt file. This is, you know, you're already taking care of with the Yahoo store, but what you really want to do is go to your Google Webmaster Tools, and it will tell you and alert you if there are any problems with pages being blocked from a Robotstxt file. The other thing is you want to make reasonable efforts to ensure advertisements are not affecting search engine rankings. Okay. There's a lot of people out there that try to just use ads as a way of trying to say, okay, well, this is how I'm going to trick the search engines to think I have more content. Just don't even do that. And if you're buying a content management system, this is there's different content management sites out there, but basically you just want to make sure that all the pages and all the links are very easy to crawl. Okay, very, very, very easy to crawl. Now, a great question I got from LP, is it bad to have an item on several pages? So, you know, absolutely not. So let's say that maybe you've got an item that belongs in 4 different categories. As long as you're not creating 4 different pages for that one product that should be in 4 different categories, then you're going to be okay. That's kind of a big thing that you want to think about. You know, make sure that you're not setting up all kinds of different pages for the exact same product. Multiple links going to that product, no problem. That actually is telling Google that that's an important page on your website. So that is very helpful. Okay, I'm going to grab a drink here real quick. Now, you want to also make sure, and I just say, if you've got auto-generated pages, it doesn't have much value. It's not good for your users, and really the search engines don't like it. Now, what is automated generated pages? Well, it used to be that you could set up these WordPress blogs where if so-and-so posted a blog, it would automatically post it on your website. You know, it's just basically blah. Or auto-generated pages that take a keyword and just mix it up into something that says, let's say, newborn gifts. Did you know the sky is blue and there are many new Yeah, these are automated yeah, it's no good. It's trash. It's garbage, okay? Now, the other thing you want to do, and write this down on a sticky note right now. Please grab your sticky note. Test your site on different browsers. And here's what I want you to do, especially today. Mark a double star next to it. And I want you to do this every day for the next week. Please mark this down. You know, Yahoo shut down basically the back end of the stores for 12 hours to do major upgrades. Anytime that Yahoo does that, you want to go through and check homepage, section page, item pages, add to the cart, and complete the checkout process. You might even want to add an item to your store that cost 1 penny that you can use to test. Just make sure that everything is okay with your store. One of the things that Google has been doing lately is moving people to different servers, and when you're using the secure SSL folder in the Yahoo store and you have to refer to it, you have to use the server number, which is like they have maybe like P10. I don't know if you've ever seen that before. That means like basically you're on server 10. Well, they've been moving people to different servers and those images are not showing up. So I want you to be very careful, especially after big updates. Mark that down and make sure that you check your site every single day this week, because it's been a long time since Yahoo did 12 hours where you couldn't get into the back end of the store. That was pretty major when I walked in this morning and saw that. I mean, it just was holy cow, okay? That was big. Now, you also want to monitor your site's performance and optimize load times. Now, by being in the program, you're getting all of these great reports every month. Look at them. But not only look at them, do something about it. My goal for you is to do 5 things every day. Whether it be, the first one is if you've got the duplicate page content report, 5 of those every single day. Then once you get through that, duplicate page type, 5 a day. Let me tell you, it's going to become so much easier for you the more that you work on it. And I want you to think about this. Most of you know that I started a weight loss journey after losing my granddaughter last year. And I weighed 280 pounds and I started, swimming. And let me tell you, I started swimming and it was hard. And I was only able to do a couple of laps without just wanting to die. And it just, it was horrible. But I did it every day. And every day I worked my butt off. And let me tell you this, I got up to swimming 200 laps per day. It didn't happen the first day. And when you start working on these reports and you start doing 5 a day, it's not going to be easy. You're only going to be able to do 40 laps. But if you commit and you work and you do it every single day, you'll be swimming 200 laps in no time. I promise you that. Okay? All right. So make sure that you're paying attention to speed. One of my favorite tools is tools.pingdom.com. One of the tools we've absolutely talked about. It's going to tell you what things on your site are loading up very slowly, what things are loading up quickly, and what the size, page size, speed size of your web page is. Very important information. All right, now we're getting to the quality guidelines. And if you remember back when I first started, I said, Google said that above all else, you should pay attention to this. Absolutely pay attention to this, okay? These quality guidelines are the most important. Amanda, I see that you asked a question, but I'm not really understanding the question. So if maybe you could give me a little bit more information to help me understand it, I'll be able to answer that for you. All right, let's get going. The quality guidelines cover most important forms of deceptive and manipulative behavior. And Google responds negatively to this. This is like misleading practices. It's not safe to assume that just because a specific deceptive technique isn't included on the page, Google approves of it. What you should do is spend energy upholding the spirit of the basic principles. And I want you to focus on providing a better user experience. This is why we're constantly working on helping you to improve your conversion rate. Why? It creates a better user experience. Why are we helping you to put in more time on your site and your content and everything that you do? It creates a better user experience. And when you have a better user experience, you're going to find that you have better rankings, okay? Much better rankings, and not only that, long-term rankings. Long-term rankings. That's important. There's so many in here like you that are doing exactly like you should. And let me tell you, you'll see competitors that come up. Me and Marilyn talked about this. Competitors come up and they stick in a bunch of spam, but you know what? A year or two down the line, tell you is. And it says, somebody said that they can't hear me. Are we back? Okay, I think it's because I had my wireless headphone unplugged. Give me 1 second to plug it back in. Okay, I apologize. We haven't had that happen, so I'm thinking that might be the issue. All right, so if you think another site is abusing the quality guidelines, you can fill out a spam report. To be honest, I don't know how I feel about this. I am a big believer of karma. You know, you get back what you put out. And if you put out positive, wonderful vibes out into the universe, I really honestly feel that you get that back in return. But if you're focusing on the negativity and the negativity and the negativity, you're only going to get back negativity. So I know I just went on a whole nother level there that went somewhere, but you know, I don't know how I feel about this. I really don't. I mean, you know, sometimes I'm like, God, why doesn't Google realize that they're doing this? And you want to say something. But again, I just have to keep remembering, and you know, sometimes you have to post a Post-it note on your monitor that says, I'm going to think positively. The glass is half full. It is not half empty. It is half full. You know, and why are some of these other sites that are clearly using duplicate content, but they're ranking well? You know, it's an issue. And what's really interesting is there's a lot of things that come from that. You might find that, yes, there's a site using tons of duplicate content, but they were one of the first ones to put it out there. So that's what's going to, you know, they're going to get that. That they're going to get that because they were one of the first ones. Or maybe that they've got so many social signals coming to the site that, you know, Google's kind of overlooking some of this other information. There's lots of reasons and what ifs and things that we can play around with, you know, but there's white hat SEO, there's gray hat SEO, and there's black hat SEO. White hat is good, black hat is evil, and then gray is something in between. I always try to stick with the white hat, you know, because once your site gets banned, it is really hard to come back from that. It is really hard. Most people just need to open up a new store and then maybe try to like pick up the pieces of that store and really work hard on it, but it's going to take you a very long time. So it's like, why mess with it? This is your livelihood. This is your business. This is how you support your family. Do you really want to do something that could impact your family? To me, the answer is no. It is absolutely no. And Dwayne's right, large PPC ads. That's right. Some of it, you know, has been said that, you know, some of these big ones, they're spending so much money. But then again, I see other people spending tons of money and nothing. So, all right. Make your pages primarily for users and not for the search engines. You know, a question that I talked with a client yesterday during our private meeting, I said, I want you to ask yourself, would you be doing this if Google didn't exist? And the answer was no. The only reason why they had all these different links on their site was because of Google. They were trying to rank for Google, but it looked awful. It looked awful. And I bet him that it was affecting his conversion rates. And I also bet him a $5,000 new design that, you know, get rid of it. And if it doesn't help you with your conversions, I'm gonna get to that design because it really is that important. that important. That conversion is so very important. So work on that conversion. Because remember, if Google's sending you traffic and nobody's converting, then why are they sending you, why are they sending you traffic? They want to help their customer. So you have to think about who is Google's customer, right? It's people looking for information or products. So what does Google's customer want to do? They want to find what they're looking for. They want to find what they're looking for quickly, and they want to move on. So that is a conversion for Google. They want their customers to convert. They want their customers to find what they're looking for, because if they don't find it on Google, they're going to Bing or they're going to Yahoo. That's so important to Google. And Google's got the lion's share of people using search engines. I mean, it's like over 60%, and Bing and Yahoo are somewhere around 20%. I haven't looked at the latest numbers, but it's like 60% of people using Google. Okay? So don't deceive your users, because that's going to hurt your conversion. What's the point of that? Oops, it said I went out again. Did we come back? Might have to buy a new headphone. Okay, we're back. Okay, so focus on those conversions. I would rather have 100 people in my site a day and 10 people buying than 1,000 people with one person buying. Focus on conversion. And above all, avoid those tricks. I mean, really, it says, would you feel comfortable explaining why you did something on your site to a Google employee? Let's say that you get banned from the search engines, and the Google employee says to you, well, why did you do this? Now, as I said before, you want to ask yourself, does this help my users? I heard this term that, you want to do non-SEO, and I love that term. Forget SEO. Focus on what's good for your users. That unique content that you're putting in your site, that's what's good for your users. Getting out there and sharing information throughout the social world and bringing in social signals, that's awesome for your users, for your customers. That is awesome. Being involved in your community, helping your customers, focusing on the positive, that helps your users. And that's what you would do if search engines didn't exist. Now, here's a site. Now, again, Marilyn will know exactly what I'm talking about. We found these sites that had, you went all the way down to the bottom of the page, the way bottom of the page, and there's like tons of links down there. And they already had these links up in the header. They had them in the left nav. Why were they putting it in the bottom? Let me tell you why. Spam, 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 spam. Okay? So think about what makes your site unique. What makes it valuable? And most importantly, guys, what makes your site engaging? This is why at the very beginning I gave you your assignment to work on Facebook, to work on Twitter, to work on Pinterest, to work on blogging. Because all of those things is making your website engage with your customers. You're engaging, you're talking, you're interacting. Not only that, but you're building up your trust. And if I trust you, I like you, I know you, I buy from you. Think about that. That's why Amazon right now, like 1/3 of all transactions online is happening on Amazon. You know why? Amazon can be trusted. They know that they're going to get their product right away. They know if they've got a problem with a particular product that they purchase and it's, it's bad or they don't like it, Amazon will say, no problem, bring it back. You all have heard about Zappos. Zappos said customer service is our big thing. We are going to be the #1 customer service company out there. You buy a pair of shoes, you don't like it, guess what? I'll pay for your shipping back. I mean, they focused on customers. They engaged with their customers, and you know what? Amazon bought them out for big bucks. Big, big bucks. If you're in Vegas or around Vegas or visiting in Vegas, I highly recommend that you do the Zappos tour. You will learn so much. There's also a book out there about the whole process and how Tony went about building up Zappos. That's another must-read in my mind. Okay, so here are some things that we absolutely want to avoid, all right? And some of this we actually talked about, okay? First of all, automatically generated content, no, big no-no, big no-no. By the way, do you see all the links that these, all of these links, I'll make sure that you have those available in the PDF format, so that way you can click on those for more information. So our next one, participating in link schemes. Now let's talk about that for a moment, because there are a lot of people on this call that are totally brand new to the web and the stores and everything involved, and they're not really even sure what link schemes are. Thank you. Yes, I see you. You're welcome. So here's what happened when I first got into the business. When I first got into the business 13 years ago, it was all about popularity. And gosh, it reminded me of high school. And the way that Google kind of ranked these pages was, okay, let's say that I have 100 friends that link to me, but you only have 10 friends that link to you. So I must be way more popular. Okay. So that's how Google ranked it, right? So people went, oh my God, I need more friends. So what they did is they got themselves involved in these link schemes and doing these link exchanges and link partnerships. And by the way, if you have link partnerships like on your site still, delete them. But anyway, so they're exchanging all this, and now they're, let's say I sell wedding gifts, and I'm exchanging links with somebody who's offering a cruise. Okay, well, that might work, but now I'm also linking up with this Halloween shop, or I'm linking up with some restaurant that's nowhere around, or, it's like, what? Does it help your user? Remember, we have to ask that question all the time. Does this help your user? No, it doesn't. So then they said, well, let's get relevant links. Okay, so then people started going, okay, now let's take advantage of this, and let's go get a bunch of relevant links. And then they said, okay, look, we don't want you to go and exchanging links back and forth. We can see that you're doing this. It's spam. Knock it off. So then the next thing they did is they said, okay, site A, you link up to site B, and site B, you link up to site C, and site C will link up to site A, and that way Google won't know that we're trying to, trick them. Come on, really? Have you seen all the information that Google knows? Yes, they can figure this out as well. All right? Cloaking. This is a big one. This is a big one. So basically what it means is you're presenting different information to the search engines than you are to your customers. Again, you're trying to trick the search engines, but yet you're trying to provide something different for your customers. It's not good. It's not good at all. And by the way, when you do click on these links, a lot of times there is a lovely video from Matt Cutts, who is just known for helping to get rid of web spam, and he is absolutely phenomenal. His teaching is phenomenal. Highly recommend that, number one, you follow his blog, because he really does try to provide great information. Twitter feed. He also kind of updates people on when Google are doing certain updates. So I highly recommend following him, and it is absolutely wonderful. Now, sneaky redirects. Let me kind of show you what that's like, okay? So a sneaky redirect is like, oh, look, I've got all these St. Christopher medals, and then you come to the page and bam, hi, would you like a sex video today? Come on. That's not the way that it works, so avoid that. You also want to avoid hidden text or links. Let me show you something that I found on a web page that it kind of shocked me. And I don't know why. I guess I shouldn't have, been shocked by it, but I really was. All right, so let me go into, and it's not going to the one I want. All right, so this is I'm not going to put the site up, but okay, so look at this. Here we get to the copyright, right? Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Look at all this text here. See it? And let me read to you what it says. Intensity 583, 583 false. Softball, women's, girls, ladies, female, women, teens, women, girl, lady, teen, youth, adult, uniforms, player, players. So let's ask this question. Did they do it for the search engines, or did they do it for their users? Clearly, spam. And look at the way, this is what's really bad, is they even tried to put in all these breaks, all these big breaks. And let me tell you, now Amanda goes, would that even do much? You know what? I have to unfortunately say that in short term, yeah, this has helped the website. But I would like to mark this date down and know if they're going to be still in the search engines a year from now. And what's really sad is this is on all pages. I mean, let's read this one. Women's, girls, ladies, female, teens, women, woman, girl, lady, youth, adult, uniforms, player, players, pro, look. I mean, goodness gracious. Then they even go into jersey, tricot, raglan, sleeves, V-notch, side. Come on, guys. This is like keyword stuffing galore. This is just awful. Okay, so don't do it. Doorway pages. This is something that we really haven't seen that much, thankfully, because Google has really kind of put a lot of those away. But basically, it's poor quality pages that are specifically optimized for a keyword or phrase. So basically, all you're doing is you're creating just like, hey, check out my Christopher medals. And then that's basically it. You really don't have anything of substantial value to add to that. Scraped content is where you're going out and you're like taking somebody else's content and putting it on your site. Affiliate programs without adding sufficient value. And now I do want to kind of clarify this one. One of our lock customers recently joined up with ShareASell. So ShareASell is an affiliate program site that helps other people sell your products. Okay, so that in itself is a good thing to do. All right, so now in order to explain this, now we need to kind of, oh, hello? I can't believe this is happening, and I'm so sorry I'm going out. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, I am so sorry this is happening. I will go buy a much better headphone. I am so sorry. This is something new, and I apologize. Okay, so I think Marilyn said that we lost me after scrape content. So affiliate programs without adding sufficient value. So actually, let's talk about Nicole. Nicole has bought One Choice for Quilting from me, and she has an affiliate program, which means that other bloggers out there can put a link to her site, and if somebody goes to that link from her site and purchases products, then that affiliate earns money. So basically, you want to think of an affiliate program as salespeople. They're just salespeople helping you to promote your store. All right, so what this in particular, this sentence here is kind of referring to is, let's pretend that I am the person that signed up with Nicole to join her affiliate program. And all I did was basically put every single one of her products on my site and then a link to her site to go buy it. That's not adding sufficient value. Now, if I created an entire quilting blog where I share my own tutorials, I share other people's tutorials, I share the latest and greatest news that's coming out about quilting, I share tools that are coming out in the quilting world, I share information on upcoming trade shows in the quilting world, and I also happen to have a link on the side to One Choice for Quilting if you need to purchase fabric to have all this fun with all these tutorials and tools and all of that. Now that is adding value. That is what they're talking about. All right, loading pages with irrelevant keywords. I mean, we just saw that. You know, you don't want to do that. That's just absolutely awful. You don't want to do that. So creating pages with malicious behavior, such as, you know, phishing or Trojans or other things that are considered badware. I will say that this is one of the reasons why WordPress scares me to death. There is a blogger out there, and my goodness, her name completely escapes me. I will come up with it later, though. But anyway, she's a very popular blogger. She writes about search engine optimization on a daily basis. She actually is a speaker for Search Engine Strategies and for Search Marketing Expo. She is a huge speaker. She knows anything and everything that there is to know about SEO. And let me tell you, one day I saw a post that said, I didn't update my WordPress and hackers got into my blog and ruined all of it. because they were injecting different Trojans, they were injecting viruses because she didn't update the WordPress software. And this is somebody that knows better. This is somebody who's in the industry. So the reason why I really don't like WordPress for store owners is because your job is not to update your blog. Your job is to sell products, and I don't want you constantly worrying about that, which is why I just happen to really love Blogger, because they'll do that for you, okay? So just be careful, and if you are using WordPress, great, but make sure every single update you do, make sure you do it, and always do a backup, because I've had about 10% of people contact me that say they've lost everything when they did the most recent update. Okay, so abusing rich snippets, markup, you know, this is another thing, like going crazy in your title tag, you know, putting in every single newborn gifts, infant gifts, newborn baby gifts, newborn, you know, that's redundant, okay? And don't send automated queries to Google. Sometimes automated queries are like using these tools that help you to figure out like where you're ranking, and there's like long time ago we used to use, oh, what was it, gold position or something gold, position gold. It was a software that you could use. One of the things, you know, like when we do your reports on a monthly basis, the reason why we usually only do it once a month is because of the fact that we don't want to send too many queries to Google with your name on it and make them upset. So if you're using a different program to monitor, maybe you're running your own reports, make sure that you're very careful about how often that you do that. I would say maybe every other week might be okay, but we try to stick to once a month. That seems to be a lot better. Okay, engaging in good practicing, monitor your sites for hacking and remove hack content as soon as it appears. Google Webmaster Tools does provide some help with that if they do find it, or at least if they find it and they think they found it, or you know, they'll post a little note that you do have a problem, but they don't always catch it. So with the Yahoo store, most times you're doing okay. One of the things, brand new things that the Yahoo store came out with, though, that I really, really like is a second security question and password. I would highly recommend that you put that into place, because if hackers break into your first password and then they break into your security password, now they've got to go into a third password. And so it's going to be much harder for them to get into your information, so make sure that you do that. All right, again, preventing and removing user-generated spam, which we talked about. And really it talks about site help, you know, because they really want to help you identify and prioritize the most important issues, and that's really what Webmaster Tools displays, this site health alert next to your site. When they detect problems, and some of the problems they're detecting might be malware, or if you removed an important page of your site, or if its important page is being blocked. So regularly check Webmaster Tools. What I might recommend to you is go into Google. Said that we're lost. Make sure we've got it again. Man, I'm so sorry, guys. Let me know when I'm back. Okay. All right. So I'm still here. Okay. What I'd like to do is use Google Calendar to put in this Friday that you're going to check your Webmaster Tools, and then underneath the calendar, and actually let me show you this real quick because this is kind of cool. I'm going to bring this over into view. So let me go. All right, so I'm going to go into Friday, and let me bring this over here to this monitor. So what you can do is, let's say at 12 o'clock on Friday, you can put in Google Webmaster Tools, and then click on Edit Event, and then you want to put in Repeat, Weekly, Never Ending. Okay, so make sure you do that. And then the other thing that you want to do is add a reminder. You can choose to do a pop-up or an email. I personally like the email because that way if I'm away from my computer and don't see the pop-up, you know. But anyway, what that will do is every Friday it's going to email me a reminder that I need to go look at Google Webmaster Tools. This might be a good time to actually set up Google Master Tools and test site. That way you do this every single Friday, you know, or if there's maybe every Wednesday, you're not, you know, Wednesday's your slow day, put it in for that day. But just make sure that you have a day where you spend 5 to 10 minutes checking out Webmaster Tools and testing your site, making sure everything is working perfectly. Okay? That's going to definitely help you out quite a bit. Just make sure that you do that. All right, so here's some couple of helpful links that I'm going to put into this. One of them is a search engine optimization starter guide that Google put out, which is kind of interesting, and it's got a lot of basic stuff, but it's interesting. And then this other one was a pure gem that came up on my Facebook page right before we were about to meet. Guy Kowalski. He started Alltop, which is a huge website. He's written tons and tons of books. And if you go to this link, and if you follow Guy on Facebook, he put this out on Facebook. But if you follow this link, he has put 4 of his sites into PDF format that you can get for free. I love it. The Macintosh Way, got to read it. The other one that I'm going to highly recommend as like you should really attempt to read this is Database 101. If you're struggling to create databases for your Yahoo store or really kind of struggling on how you can use databases to help you run your store faster, run your store better, do updates, this Database 101 book, phenomenal. Phenomenal. And it's free and it's by Guy. So, I mean, you really can't go wrong. And then the computer Gumungian, it's kind of cute. So anyway, highly, 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 highly recommend that you use that link. Now, let me go into our One Choice for Group Coaching site, and I'm going to show you where I'm going to put those links at. And for those of you, if you're not in our group coaching, our consulting, or lock program, you know, right now is a great time to join because if you go to our website and go to group coaching, your first month is half off. And really, I'll just show you something real quick. If you go under the goodies section, that will pay for your first month alone. You get Yahoo Store Goodies Kit, you get the One Choice for Yahoo Store Owners Kit, you get a video skin kit. All of these are our advanced tutorials that we sell on our site. You get access to all of them for free. Banner kits, graphic logo files, and this one's really cool. We did a video on this, I think 2 weeks ago, e-cover action scripts. With these, you're able to make your own gift cards, e-covers, e-magazines, all kinds of stuff so easily. And all of that is with your first, you know, you can go in there and download that right away. So right there, I think is worth the price of joining right there. And then, of course, we have replays that go all the way back to May of 2012. So really, really great content. So what we'll make sure to do is when you go to the home page, I like to try to have it right here on top, like this is our last one, where we went through Catalog Manager on 8.8, although I'm not sure why that's showing up first, but anyway, that's where you'll find it, or you go underneath the replays and look underneath February. That's where you'll be able to see it. And then I talked about the tools, creating your own different things. So when you go into the back end, here's the replay. You can click the play button below, and you've got all the information that you can need about how to use the tools. So it's a lot of really good information, but personally, I think the goodies area is worth joining, you know, for half price alone. That's just me. So, all right, so back here in our group coaching is where I will be putting in the replay. Hopefully I'll get that in today. I'm not sure. Just depends on how quickly YouTube lets me upload. Now that we've moved into the office and my internet is 37 times faster than what it was when I was working out of the house, it is uploading a little bit faster. Absolutely crazy. So I'm hoping to get that up today. I'll put links to all of it. I'll put in a copy of my my PDF file, or I'm sorry, my slideshow file. I'm going to put that in there as well. And while I'm in here, let me just make sure if anybody had any questions for today's meeting, and it looks like there were no questions for today's meeting. Okay, so that is all set up, and Amanda says, I just signed up for one-on-one. What's the first available time to do that? Amanda, usually the way that we start out, especially when you sign up for the 101, we got to make sure that we've got your latest reports, and then usually after that's done, we can set up the appointment. I will be out all of next week. I'm going into the hospital on Monday, and then I'm also going in on Wednesday to get a procedure done. So next week is going to be really rough, and I won't be available. I'll be stuck in bed, but then I'm pretty much open after that, and try to get everybody in as much as possible. And also, if you've got quick questions that you need help with, of course, we recommend putting in here and doing all kinds of good stuff. So I think that covers all of our questions. Nicole, yes, I'll send you over that schedule. I use BigCommerce for my store. Do the same reports apply? Yes, the same reports would absolutely apply because it's going through each and every page of your store to find out what are the issues. If you've got duplicate page content, duplicate page titles, 404 errors, too many links on a page, it's going to give you all that information. The other thing that's really nice about the reports, and that I really love, is my favorite part of the reports, is knowing exactly what you're, oh, are we back? I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. This is the first time this has happened. Okay, so not only does it tell you the keywords that you're in the top 20 for, but it also tells you your position, your previous position, and the search volume related to that. But also very important, and probably my favorite part about this report, is it tells you what page that you're ranking for. So, you know, let's say that Tom decides he wants to get rid of Catholic jewelry page because he thinks that it's not doing very good. He learns that, hey, this is, you know, ranked number 3. Not only that, it brings in 5.9% of your traffic, and, you know, you've got trends, and you've got all the cost per click for this particular search phrase is 79 cents. So that's a lot of really great information. The other thing that we do, and this is usually on a bi-monthly basis, is we give you this report about one of your competitors. That is what's so valuable, because not only will you learn what they're ranking for, but you're going to find out which keywords bring them in the most amount of traffic. You might find a keyword phrase that you didn't even think was worth working on, and you realize that, oh my goodness, it's bringing them in 20% of their traffic from Google is coming from that particular search phrase. Maybe it's a product you don't carry, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, this is something I need to carry now. So these reports I love. It's also, you learn about what keywords your competitors are spending on AdWords, what keywords they're going after. That way you can find some information about that. And you also get a report that shows you some of the AdWords that they're running. So that way you can compare what's going on, and you know what's going on with that competitor and what they're going after, and it gives you a lot of good information. I think our reports are absolutely phenomenal, and I'll be honest with you. You can go through SEO Moz and pay $99 for the reports, and then SEM Rush you can pay $70 for, or you can spend $20 less and get all of these reports, plus we occasionally throw in other reports, plus you get all the goodies, plus you get all the meetings, plus. So I highly recommend. I think the group coaching has been very helpful. We're constantly being told how, our customers are learning so much. I'm seeing your sales go up. I'm seeing your conversions go up. The people who really take this and learn it and are just expanding, and we're even teaching you how to do RTML. For those Yahoo store owners, we are actually showing you how to do RTML and do tricks in your store so that you can do your own changes in your site. So that's kind of cool. I love that part that we are showing RTML. So it's a lot of good information, and I hope if you're not a part of the group that you do join, because I think that you will really enjoy it. Most importantly, though, I just want you to make sure that you're taking good care of your site, because your site will take good care of you and your family. So make sure that you're paying attention to all of that. Okay? All right. I think that does it for the questions right now. If you have any questions, though, just come on over into our site and click on the email us link and send over a ticket. You can also, shoot me over an email to shaunasiegel@gmail.com. That's, another way to get a hold of me. If you don't get a response from me within 24 hours, sometimes what happens is I lose emails because it's going into my spam folder, because I put in some very, very strict spam things because I was just getting way too much. So if you don't, that's kind of my rule. Now for next week, if you email me and don't hear from me from 24 hours, I'm not going to respond back. Sorry. It's going to be a rough week for me. And thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. But that's the general rule. That's the general rule. So, Tom, if it's okay with you, I'd like to ask you a question here about, you sent me information about your search results, and I wanted to know, is there any way that I can use those search results that you sent me for our next meeting on Tuesday night to discuss how you would use these kind of results to help you with product placement and conversion and all of that good stuff? I love Tom. This is what I love. This is why Tom gets, I love him, because he's always like, share the information, let's help other people, and I really honestly believe that Karma is taking good care of him too. So what we're going to do this Tuesday night is, Tom has the ability with a program that he's using to know exactly what keywords that his customers are looking for when they're going to his site and putting in search. So for instance, when the customers go to his site and say, I am looking for, he gets reports on a daily basis of what people are looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use this information. And Yahoo Stores does have some of this information. We'll go over that too. But I want to show you, how do you use this information, what people are searching for, to not only help with your product placement, but conversion and getting more sales. And not only that, but also helping you to get a higher order average value, because I don't want people to come in and buy one product. Guys, I want them to come in and buy 3 products, 4 products, 5 products. I want to increase your average order value. That is very, very important to me, and this is one way that we're going to do that. Plus, we're going to answer any of your questions that you've had. Plus, we're going to look at individual pages, like let's say that you say, Shauna, why am I not ranking on this page? We're going to look at it. We're going to go through, SEO Quake. We'll look at the page. We'll look at the content. We'll look at your competitors, and we'll find out why the heck isn't that page ranking, and take a good look at everything. So that's going to be next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm so looking forward to it. And yes, I will be making sure that you've got the replay of this on here. And because this information was so valuable, I will also make sure that I put a link to it on our blog site, and make sure that we put that out there for everybody to catch the replay, because I really felt like today's information was very valuable. Okay? All right, that's it for us for today. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you all. I appreciate your questions. They're such wonderful questions that helps everybody learn. I appreciate you being here today, and I do hope to see you next Tuesday in our next group coaching meeting. And by the way, if you need help with SEO, if you join the consulting or lock program, you're automatically in the group coaching, stuff too. So I love education. I focus on education. And our next webinar that we will have an open webinar is with Atten Software. And Atten Software is going to go over the new Google Shopping rules, regulations, and how you can do better in Google Shopping. Okay, so that's going to be coming up in March, and we've got a lot of other really great things planned in March as well. As a matter of fact, I'm also going to be teaching you guys a little bit more RTML, not to blow your mind out, but each month we keep improving on our RTML skills, so we're going to keep doing that as well. All right, everybody, thank you again for being here. Big hugs to all of you. Remember, stay positive, stay focused, and ask yourselves, is this what my users want, need, and what I can provide for them? Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.